Hello world, welcome to Cybercreed, and today in this video we are going to create this awesome looking portfolio website that you can basically use for any purpose, whether it's web designing, data science, machine learning, or just to showcase some of your Python projects. So this website is just completely made with HTML, CSS and JavaScript and Python. And before starting this video, I want to make sure that we are not going to dive deep into the HTML code or CSS or JavaScript code, but here we are going to see how we can basically modify this particular template that we basically downloaded from the internet. And I am also going to provide the link for this in the description so that you can also download it. And once we downloaded it, we will basically modify it for our needs. We can change every element that we want to change, and in this website we also have very cool features of sending emails. Like whenever someone basically tries to reach us, we can just take their name, email address and their message that we want to send us, and as soon as they click on send, we will receive their message. So this portfolio website is an amazing website and it can basically attract many people. So without wasting any of your time, let's just start coding this website. Okay, the very first thing that you need to do to create this website is to basically go to the GitHub repository. Okay, let me just open the Firefox and then we are going to go there. And here you can just paste this URL, and this URL will also be provided in the description section below so that you can just easily access it. But once you are here, you can just click on code and then you can just click here to copy this link. And once the link is copied, then you can basically open up your terminal or CMD. If you are doing this on Windows, you can basically download it as a zip file, or you can also do this same command in your Windows operating system too. So it is applicable for both Windows and Linux user. So I'll just change my directory to my desktop so that we can see there. And then I will just clone it. So to clone the GitHub repository, you just basically need to write git clone and then simply paste the link. This command will be same in your Windows, but if you are in Windows, there you need to basically install a git, which is basically a CLI version. If you just search to download git, it will be downloaded, but you can also just click here code and you can download zip, and you have to just basically extract the zip file. So here you can see that we have successfully created a folder of portfolio. As we can see here, this is our folder and here are the files that we have basically seen on our GitHub. So before starting, the first thing that you need to do is to basically test whether your program is going to work or not, because sometimes the code might be broken. And to get started with doing this project, there are some things that you need to install. So let me just quickly show you. First of all, you need to have the Python version 3.7 or above, and you need to have installed Flask. So if you have like anything not installed, you can just write, like if you want to install Flask, you can basically write pip install Flask, because we are going to use Python 3, and in Linux you just basically need to modify or tell that you have to use pip3. But if you are in Windows, you can basically install Python directly, and then you can basically use pip install Flask to install this into your Windows operating system. And for me it basically says that a requirement already satisfied. Well, I will also try to just wait. I will also just try to add requirements.txt file, which you can basically install by pip3 install requirements.txt, but the only thing needed here is Flask. So the first thing we are going to do is to check whether our program is working fine or not after you have done installing everything. So for that, we can basically move on to our folder portfolio, and once we are inside that, we can basically write python 3 app.py, And once this basically started, you can basically go to this link and can check that if it is working or not. So here we can see that it is working perfectly fine. We have all the images that we need, and once you verified this is working fine, now let us just move on to our code. But before moving on to our code, let us just simply quit this. Let me clear the screen, and here I will be using VS Studio Code, and you are feel free to use any editor because it is not the editor that is going to do the job, but it is the code that is basically going to play an important role. But I like VS Code, so I will just open VS Code here. So here you can see that here is our basically our file structure. So first we have this two junk folder which we basically do not need. We can basically even delete them. So now we are left with three folders. This is a static folder that is basically responsible for storing your HTML. So this is your static folder which is basically responsible for having your CSS or JavaScript file or even the Bootstrap file. Because here we are basically working on the Flask, which is basically a Python framework that is used to basically create web app or website that we are currently designing, and it follows some particular templating folder. So on template folder you have to just put your index.html file, and then here outside of every folder you have this app.py. Here we can see that how it is basically structured. We have app.py, and then we have our templates folder, and inside our templates folder we have our index.html. So in order to modify this index.html for your need, the only thing that you need to change here is this index.html file. So in order to change this, as you can see, the first thing you can see here, it is our name. So if we want to change our name, as we can see here, it is basically written my name, and if you want to just modify it to any other people name, we can basically use this index.html. You can basically write anything, like you can basically write any names and then you can basically save it. So this is how you can basically change this name, the first name. But how about this YouTube freelancer and other things that you want to basically include? For that you can basically press Ctrl F to basically find that, and then you can basically write whatever I have written, like freelancer or YouTuber. So let me just write YouTuber. So here we can find out all the things that I have basically mentioned. And in order to change the name that we are seeing in the glitch effect, we also need to modify it. So here also you have to basically write any name. Here I am basically going with CyberCreed, and here also let me make the change as so. Remember, here on the glitch class we have to make data.glitch here also and here also. That then and only then this both glitch effect is going to work perfectly fine. And here you can basically change from data scientist to Python programmer to anything. You can make the basic changes here, like if you are some sort of hacker, then you can basically put here hacker. If you are not YouTuber, you are just blogger, you can just write here blogger. So it was just a spelling mistake, my bad. So till now we can basically see two changes in our site. So till now we have basically changed this name and this Python programmer. Let me just basically quickly run this site and let me show you how it is working. So if I just write flask run, it is basically going to run my server again. And here we can see that the title of the page is basically changed, and here you can see, hello, I am Cybercreed, I am a hacker, I'm a YouTuber or freelancer. The things that we currently changed can be basically seen here. Let me just quickly show this file. As soon as you save, the changes will be reflected. But now the next thing that we want to change here is to basically our portfolio. So like if you have different varieties of projects, like here you can basically show all your projects at once. But if you are basically a machine learning or data scientist, you can basically see here that we have the machine learning section, we have the deep learning section, we have the Python projects, and here I have just added teaching for my YouTube channel. So in order to edit it, you can basically copy this portfolio, go to your VS Code and just click on find, paste it here, and you will come to this page. So here you can basically see that this is your portfolio section. So here you can basically change from machine learning to something like cyber security, or from deep learning, but you can basically change all of them. But if you also want to remove this, so like I don't want to have this teaching section, if you just delete the teaching section, and let me just okay, you need to basically rerun this server to basically see the changes that have currently occurred. So you can just say flask run, and you can basically refresh this site, and you can see that teaching is basically gone. But here, if you want to add any project or remove any of the projects, you can basically type here like music generation system, which is one of the projects. So here we can basically write the name of our projects that we currently want to show. So here we can see that we have our music generation system at the very top. So here too we have the music generation system at the very top. And then if you want to just add any images, so to add the image, you can basically go to your static folder, and then there you can basically change this image. So if you want to change any of these thumbnail images, what you can do, you can basically go to this portfolio folder, and then inside your static you will find assets. So inside assets you will find images, and there we have all the images that you can basically modify. So if you want to basically modify the images like this Python projects image, you can basically download any images, but please make sure that you are downloading the image of the same quality so that the things don't get messier and it just look perfectly in the perfect dimension. And you can basically use online tool to basically reshape the images that you are basically downloading, and the images will be downloaded in the perfect dimension. And here we can basically add the link also to the portfolio site, as here we have added. So here you can basically modify the name of your projects, and here you can basically write the link of your site. So wherever your project is hosted, which most likely will be hosted on the GitHub, and there you can basically just say that here is my GitHub link, here you can see my code. But if you also have deployed the code, like if you have created some website, you can basically paste your link here and it will just basically redirect it there. So in this section you can basically change all your projects, and if you just want to delete some projects, you can just delete them. Like if you just want to delete this section, you can just basically select it, delete it, and it will be deleted with no problems. Now coming on to the next interesting part, like this my resume. So in resume you can basically mention your education skills here, and here you can basically tell your experience. So in order to edit any of these, we can basically go to our code, and here you can see that this is our resume, and here I have specified the date. So by just looking at the date and the format, you can basically modify this templates. I'm just going to go over, like you don't feel any problem in that. Like you can basically modify this whole section, and if you just want to delete the entire section, you can just do it by selecting and deleting them. But you basically want to showcase your education skills as well as your technical skills on this website, so that interviewer can basically have a look there instead of just going through your resume and downloading it and then going to the site. And here we can just see that we have our little about me section, and here is the image of mine, and here I have just written some word. So in order to change that, we can see that here is our about me section. Now about me, you can basically write anything about yourself that is most important, and that will be inside the bold text. And then you can basically write something more about yourself, which the field that you are a little bit less interested in, and it will work perfectly fine. And here is the section of hire me. So in hire me, as soon as someone clicks on the hire me, it will basically take them to get in touch, and that is perfectly okay. But here we have also the option of download your CV. So in order to just let your viewer download your resume or CV, you can basically paste any link here and they will be able to download your resume. But for now we are just pressing hashtag because I am not going to just post my resume here. But you can do that. You can basically paste the link, upload it to Google Drive, upload it to Dropbox or any website that you may like, and you can just paste the link so that they can basically directly see your resume. But with this website we are already showing most of the thing that they want to see, so they might not be interested in just seeing your resume, but in any case they can have a look there. And here I have added my services section. So down here we have our my services section. So here you can basically say that what things that you can basically do and you are basically comfortable with. So here if you are a web designer, you can see this right, that you can basically design your websites. I can basically do the SEO, and I can also plant some backend services too. So here we can basically specify what services we can basically provide to our user. But if anyway you don't want this section to be in your website, so you can basically go to your code, and then from here you can basically select this code and you can basically delete them. But for now we are not basically going to do there. And the most interesting thing that I like in this is basically you can showcase your Medium post, and by showcasing your Medium post you can showcase that you are a very good writer and you also like contributing to the society. So as soon as someone basically clicks here, so if someone is going to click here, it will take a new tab and there they will basically see your post. And here you can see our post is successfully loaded. And if you are someone who basically loves writing posts or love writing blogs, you can basically keep this section with you and you can basically add this to your resume. But if you are someone who don't have any of these blogging sites, you may basically try doing this, because blogging also attracts the attention of your recruiter. So in order to edit this, you can basically go to your index.html file, and this image, the image of this plot that you are basically seeing, you can basically go to the same static assets images folder and you can basically change the image. And once you change the image, you can basically paste the file here, and then to post the link, you can basically see here that I have posted the link of my post, and here I have basically mentioned the title of my post. And also here we can basically specify some brief detail about what our article is, so that if someone is interested in reading them, they can basically take a quick look, and then if they are interested, they can continue reading your post. And here we can also specify on the day you have just posted, and here we can say that how many comments you have received, and so I have added 3 of them. You can basically copy paste these 3 codes one more time to basically have 6 posts of the same. But I just want to showcase my top 3 posts that I basically like, so I have just done in this way. Now here comes the most interesting part. Here is our get in touch function that we are going to have a look using our Flask web app. Till now we haven't seen our python app.py, so this is now time to see how it is basically going to work. So let me open my app.py, and let me just make it little darker. And here let me select Python interpreter. So here we can see that, okay, this extension pressed, it just keeps happening. So here we can see that we have imported Flask, render template, requests, times, and many different things. But the main thing that we are concerned about is email. So here I have created an email function which is basically responsible for sending email. So here we just need to provide the email address of our email address, that is basically going to be our email address, and here we need to pass our password. So here you have to pass the password of yourself. So in order to set this mail sending function, you have to first go to the Google, then basically disable low secured apps, and once you allow having low secured web apps, then and only then you can send email through this Python script or any programming language for that matter. And the first line we are specifying is the smtp.gmail.com. This is basically the SMTP of Gmail by which a programmer can basically send emails, and this is the port address by which we can basically send our email. And here we are saying that server.start, and here we are basically logging to our system. So here we are basically logging to email and password, and here is the email from which you want to send, and here is the mail which is basically going to receive. So here this email say that you are the sender, and here this email is basically of receiver, and then you basically pass the message, and once you are done with sending email you can basically quit. So in Flask, the first thing that we need to do is to basically open our home site. So as soon as someone open our website, which is basically this slash, then they will see our index.html, and that is what this is trying to say. And then I basically wrote a clear message function which is basically going to format your message in from to subject like that, so that the mail is more or less readable, because we just don't want to see a garbage mail inside our mailbox that we cannot make sense, and we only can discard that mail. So in order to keep everything clean and clear, I wrote this function. So this function works something like that. So the first thing that is going to happen is when someone submit your form, so here we can see that this is our form section, and as soon as someone basically submits the form, this form action is set to submit form. This is basically going to hit this submit form function in our Python, and if this is post request, means someone is basically posting the information to our site, then we can basically use this form and this request dot method to check if this is a post request. So if this is a post request, we are basically converting this request to a dictionary. So if you have learned any programming language, dictionary is key value pair. So in that, the key will be our name. So here we have passed the name, like name is equal to name, name is equal to email, name is equal to message, and this is our key. And what will be our values? So values will be the value that the user will enter. Like for name, if they enter cyber, it will be, the name will be cyber. For email, if they enter cybercreed@gmail.com, then the value will be cybercreed@gmail.com, and the key will be email. So here we are basically getting all this data, and as soon as we get all this data in dictionary form, we are basically cleaning the message. And here our clean message function get called, and as we know that clean message is just a dictionary, and the dictionary have the key value pair. So here we are getting the value of name, here we are getting the value of email, here we are getting the value of message, and then we are basically formatting it into a proper email message function, email message format, with from, their name, their email, and subject. This is basically how it is going to look on your Gmail, and then their official message. And here you can basically specify your password, like password is equal to whatever password do you have with your Gmail account. Here I have used os.environ.get, which is basically needed to hide the password, so you don't basically share the password online. Like if you are basically going to push this code to the GitHub, someone might read the code and they can put some benefit of it. So here you can basically save your passwords. If you are on Linux, you can basically do it by going to your terminal. Okay. Let me open new tab, and in your terminal just make sure that you are inside your root directory, and there you can just write nano.vashrc, and then this will open. And here you just want to write export my user is equal to test user. So here we are just importing the demo because I am not going to show you my password. Of course it's super safe, super secure, but if you are on Linux, you have to write something like this. So just go to the line. I am basically using Nano. This is basically very easy text editor of Linux. You have to just write this export command. This is basically going to make environmental variable, and then you can basically write any variable name, just like the variable name or identifier we have with any other programming language like A, B, C. But here we are going to use this for password, so we can say that password underscore Gmail, and then we can basically write Gmail 1 2 3 4 5. And once you are done with this, you can basically save this, press enter and press Ctrl X, it will be saved. After doing this, you can basically access it using your Python with os.environ.get, and here you need to pass the variable name that we basically wrote, that was pass underscore Gmail. But if you are on Windows, you can do a quick hack. You can basically open up your Windows Explorer, click on the properties, click on properties, and here click on advanced settings, and here you see the environmental variables. Click on new, and here you can basically add your new variable name, just as the case with Python that we saw in the Linux. So here we can write my pass, and here we can basically enter your password, hello 1 2 3, or any password that you have, and press OK, and it will be just saved. And once you are done saving your email password, you can just move on to the next step. So here we get the password, and now we are basically sending the mail. So we are trying to send mail from, this is the sender email address. So from my OneTech email ID, I want to send this message. Here is our message that we want to send, and here is the password. So here we get the password and basically send it, and once our password is basically sent to this function, then this mail function basically send the mail to our email ID, that is cybercreed@gmail.com, and we are going to receive the message there. And once we have done that, we can basically return the render template, and now this function of this index.html app.py is basically done. So now we can return to our app.py, and here we can see that we have added a simple JavaScript function for thanks for contacting us, the message that you basically see, or the user will basically see when he have clicked on send message function. So here we have our email address, here we have our phone number. Of course this is not my real phone number, and here is your address. So you can basically edit this to your need, for your email address, for your mobile number. If you don't want to have your mobile number shown on your website, you can basically delete it, and you can basically add your address here. And the most important part comes here, like icon.github. Here you can basically add your GitHub URL. So I have basically not done this. So here we can see that at the very bottom we have our GitHub, here we have Twitter, here we have YouTube. So if you just want to add the link of any of these, you can just basically add your link here. I have basically added it for my LinkedIn, but for GitHub you can basically go to your profile page and just copy the link, just come here at your GitHub, you can basically paste it, save it, and it will be done. Just make sure this template is not made by me, this is made by someone from ColorLib, so I am giving them attributes. So that is the reason why I am not going to just remove this copyright line, but if you want you can also remove this link. And once you remove this link, you won't be seeing this link at the very bottom. This copyright all right reserved, this link, this copyright notice I'm not going to remove because I love giving credit to those who have created this template so beautiful. But I have just modified many things inside this template, like adding this glitch effect, adding this typing effect, and some things like sending email too. But you should give credit wherever you have got the code. So this was it for this video, and I hope that you have learned something new from this video and you are basically able to create this portfolio. And if you have any doubt regarding any of these sentences, like what to do this, what to do that, or how we can basically do this, please make sure to ask us in the comment section, in the Discord server, in the Telegram group. And if you are stuck anywhere, we can make a specific video about explaining that particular topic, so you don't need to worry about that. So this is it for this video, and I'll meet you in the next one.